Here we go. Let's try that again. All right. Ba-da, ba-da-da. Go into speaker view. We are going to go into Keynote, and we're going to do this all over again. Thank you so much. We're starting a couple minutes past the projected time, which is still better than usual, especially dealing with the music industry. Holy moly. Lead singer time, anybody? Again, this is going as a live class as well as a replay. So if you guys happen to be watching this as a replay, thank you very much for making the time for this. And be sure to share it out with someone you care about if it is something that you find useful for yourself or a nugget of wisdom for somebody else. All right. So today we're talking about supercharging your performance and bulletproofing your body. And that is both on and off the stage. This kind of stuff, the modality that we're going to be talking about here today, is certainly applicable regardless of your status in the music industry or not. Even if you're, I hesitate to say just a super fan, because really without the fans of music, tough to make a go of things. So here we are today. Let's get into it. What you can expect, the game plan for today. We're going to talk about introduction, tell you who the heck I am, why I'm wearing a funny sailor hat. What is pain? We're also going to then talk about what is rock and roll. And then we're going to talk, a bit more about what is a supercharged mind and what is a bulletproof body, and the 3 keys to both of these fancy things. Okay. Then, of course, at the end, we're going to talk about next steps. So if this stuff interests you, we do have some options for you to carry on. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this Mike Schwartz guy, head unicorn tamer and host of the party here at Music Fit Collective. I wear my party hat. I am the captain here of the musicianship, if you will. Instrumental, full of puns as well. All right. I am a drummer, producer, Los Cabos drumstick artist, and soul tone cymbal artist. So that's me kicking butt. That was 40 degrees below. It was the coldest day of my life, and we decided to do board shorts outside on a farm in the middle of Alberta. Super cold, super awesome. Okay, but that's me drumming. Okay, certified fitness professional since 2008. Former national athlete. I was skating, speed skating, that is, long track style, amongst other sports, various sports all throughout my youth. And then I am now an author, educator, and speaker. So I've taken my fitness profession and gone to the masses. I really do enjoy writing and educating, and that's the biggest thing for me. And speaking, well, if anybody on this replay or in the show here today knows me at all, you know I like to talk. So, all right. Creator of the Music Fit method, which will full 360 that by the end of that. That is the baby of my life's, some say life's work. No, this is my life's play. Music Fit method, coaching certification. So, and also a book. Fancy that. Simply put, I'm the dude that helps musicians solve their problems. Okay. And we're going to get into what we're doing because that's the point of today. All right. I'm going to move in. The Alan Cross had this kind word to say. He says, listen, if you're a promoter of a festival and want to offer a special backstage service or a road manager with a van full of musicians hell-bent on crippling themselves, think about dropping Mike a line. All right. And I met this fine gentleman. He's an absolute Canadian legend, radio broadcast and speaker himself. And I happened to meet him at the Canadian Music Week. We got on real well. Turns out he's a drummer too. Fancy that. And has experienced a lot of overstrain injuries himself, and works with a trainer back out in his neck of the woods near Toronto. And he's a big fan of this musician wellness stuff that we're all about. So cool dude to include in this whole project. All right, so let's get into that supercharge. What is pain? Now, we got a really great Webster's Merriam definition here of a localized or generalized unpleasant bodily sensation or complex sensations that causes mild to severe physical discomfort and emotional distress, and typically results from bodily disorder, such as injury or disease. Furthermore, it can be an acute shooting pain. Okay. also known as the state marked by the presence of such sensation. So what does all of that mean? Well, fancy you should ask that. This is my favorite. Who loves Tina Turner? I sure do. What's love got to do with it? Mm, mm, mm. Good question, okay? Because the body has a way of holding these stressors. So if we think back to the definition I just gave you, textbook definition, the body is actually a vessel. It is literally holding, you know that saying, body is a temple? Well, it can be, certainly can be. It holds all of these stressors from the outside world in various forms of pain. Generally, these are due to emotions and overstrain injuries, not one or the other, most cases. Okay, we'll get into that. When we choose to suppress those emotions, and then we also choose to resist the help and treatment, we compound these symptoms. Okay, so when we're talking about pain, if we choose to just put it off to the back burner and forget about it, or work through it, or work over it, or say, we gotta go through it, push harder, and we keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. Well, the body's really great at holding up until it's not. Okay. Pain is also an emotional response. That's going with what I've just stated. It's an emotional response. It can debilitate you if you actually let it. For example, if you are injured, that tells the world, both the outside world and the world going on in your head, that you are that. It's permanent. That's it. Anything that you state, that's a good, take this one thing, this one little golden nugget away from you here today, guys. Anything that follows you are, or I am, that's true. Okay? Think about that. We're going to come back and revisit that thought later on when we're dealing with the actual emotional side of things. Okay? So, with that said, we've got 3 common symptomatic areas in musicians. And even if you're sitting there going like, I'm not a musician per se, like I played or I do dance or anything, but this is a very, very common thing. So that's why I said, like, if your grandma could use this, man, send her the file, because this kind of stuff can blow you away. Okay. Symptom areas in musicians: neck and shoulders, number 1, wrists and elbows, number 2. And then of course, we're going to go down the lower back and hips. Now, crazy thought, the next slide's going to explain a lot of this, okay? And for those of you who are unfamiliar with energy systems and chakras, this is a really, really cool take that I hope you're going to, stay along for the ride with, okay? Because this kind of stuff, like, I'm going to be honest, when I first got into the chakra training, it was straight up woo-woo, all right? Top down, we're going to talk about the 7 chakra systems, okay? Now, I want you to think of everything in the outside world it can be a stressor. It can be certain things that are going on, emotional issues, maybe a physical association. We've also got the common stressors of work, life, crises that we face each day, and they will typically show up in certain regions of our body. This is what the chakra system is all about. Okay, so from the top, we've got the crown chakra. Okay, this area is very, very top of the head, like straight up, very top. Okay. The emotional issues that are generally related to like physical association of pain sometimes is inner and outer beauty and connection to spirituality and just that whole amazing bliss, like that whole serenity type of world that we live in. All right. It can be associated with brain stuff, nervous system. So if we get a little weird, nervous, tingly feeling for some unknown reason in various parts of the body, it could be due to a disruption in some sort of an emotional issue in that region of our life. Okay. Moving the way down here is our third eye chakra. Often our intuition, imagination, wisdom, and making decisions. Right between the eyes, right in here. So it's oftentimes also associated with our vision, so where we want to go, right? That whole imagination piece. Again, eyes, sinuses. So if we're getting stuffy colds that just don't seem to let up, that type of stuff can be a relation to the emotional issues that we just described. Okay. Next one, throat chakra. Just reading you through This one, again, ability to communicate. So when we revisit that last slide and look at musicians, this is one area, neck, that we see a lot of issues coming up. So really sore neck, kink in the neck, maybe scratchy throat, inability like vocal cords. That's all, again, breathing issues, respiratory system, teeth, vocal cords, all of that stuff is a big player in this. It's a self-expression, right? So when we're artists, you can see why we commonly see neck injury and neck pain, and same with the next one in our heart chakra. We'll get to that in a sec. But just to reiterate, though, we've got emotional issues like communication and self-expression. So if we're having a challenge with communicating with somebody in our lives, a loved one, perhaps a bandmate, somebody like that. I mean, those two aren't always the same, but sometimes they are. And the whole essence of like the truth, those types of things will show up in the throat chakra. Okay. As moving down, the next piece, very common as well, anything through the arms, up into the up into the shoulders, the other hip, up into the shoulders, down the arms, all of that is associated with the heart chakra, which the emotional issues there, love, joy, inner peace, we generally, as musicians, very loving, and we love what we do. We're creative, we're passionate, we love our people around us, we crave that, we're very, very creative. And that love, relationship, and self-acceptance is a thing that we place high value on. So if there's a disruption there, we tend to see that pain in that area. It's a very, very interesting thing. Solar plexus, again, personal power and ability to channel, where we look at self-worth, self-confidence, things like central nervous system, also any type of digestive issues. They typically come up when we've got a disruption there in the solar plexus. Moving down the line here to sacral, sexuality, pleasure, all of the pleasure points in life. This one, if we got a disruption in here, this one can throw off a whole bunch. All of them can, but this one especially, we hold a lot of our emotion here, right? Abundance, well-being, pleasure, sexuality, all of that. Reproductive organs, kidneys, bowel, immune system. So if we're getting sick quite a bit, it could be a blockage there in the sacral. Also, again, low back and hips. This is a big one. And the next, root chakra, where we're talking about career, money mindset. I'm going to say that again. Money mindset. One of the most common things I hear is the starving artist. Well, that starving artist also has a lot of physical pain from the hips down, just based off of the starving artist. That idea of I am followed by whatever. If we're believing that, that's a big piece. Okay. The emotional issues there, survival. Like this is our, if we go back to the old school Maslow, we're thinking this is our bread and butter, quite literally. If we are threatened and in survival mode, stressed out, it's going to show up in the root chakra. Okay. Hopefully that gives you a good understanding, at least an introduction to where the energy systems are. Now, the thing to really think about this is that if we've got a disruption in one, think of it as this from top to bottom, that's a hose. If we've got a kink in the hose, it's going to affect the rest of the hose. It doesn't matter where along the line on that hose, it's going to affect the energy of the flow. All right, so we're going to look at different ways, different strategies to keep that flow, keep that energy in 3 simple steps here today. So that's the goal. All right, just want to give you paint the picture here. Okay, now, like I said, rock and roll. Rock on the one side is our yang energy. We want to rock on. All right, cool. We want to fight or flight. This is our aggressive masculine behavior. Okay, this is important in short bursts. Okay, it's stress is a great thing. It gets a bad rap, no pun intended, but it does. It really does with a lot of people. They think, oh, you want to eliminate stress. No. We need stress to survive. That's what it is. It's like back in the day, and by the day, I mean primal times, you had to run away from the lions. Okay. You had to go to battle. You had to go to war. Now, the issue here is that most of the war that we go to nowadays is right between the ears. Okay. This is great for short term. It's also known as, if you guys are the fans of Led Zeppelin, lucky me, I got to study Led Zeppelin in university. That's a real thing. Okay. I had to take Baroque and everything to get there, but I did get to study Led Zeppelin. Got a really great class. Ironically enough, I'm sitting here with a biography of Zeppelin right here. Look at that. I just noticed that. That's funny. It's known as the shade. So with Zeppelin's music, they were so creative and crafty. And you think of the song like Stairway to Heaven, where it's very light acoustic vibe, very chill feeling in the first half of the song, and then whoa, kicks you in the ass. That's the shade. That rock and roll, heavy guitar, heavy drums kick in halfway through the song. That is known as the shade. So I want you to think about that in a musical sense as the rock or the yang energy, okay? As opposed to the roll, where it's more the yin, the feminine side. This is more rest and digest. It allows us to chill the F out and process things. This is the light in the Zeppelinism analogy, okay? Both are key, okay? Super, super key. We need to look at this wheel as a balanced wheel. The challenge being is that most of us are running way high on the rock and very low over here on the roll. And we want to integrate a program. That's what the Music Fit method and what my goal is here today is to show you how to balance that wheel. Okay. Let's see if it wants to go. Oh yeah, here we go. That's my boy. That's little Beebs. Look at that. Look at that cutie. Hey, the self-care anywhere session. Okay. So this is something that I encourage anybody that's working with me and anybody watching this that has worked. You guys can test to this and how valuable it is. The mind body scan and breathing. I know, mind blowing. Okay. Breathing is going to help set up 90% of this. Okay. So you're going to hear me like a broken record today on the importance of breathing. Okay. The self-care anywhere session, I want you to take a moment and we're going to go into the mind body scan here. We're going to go right into just taking it from if you're seated, if you're standing, if you're walking, whatever you're doing, just take a moment to yourself and start from the top of your head and close your eyes down, sit with yourself really, really, and be in silence and trace from the top of your head all the way down your face. Feel the eyelids. Relax everything down into the face, into the chin. Feel, even if you've got a lump in the throat or if you've got something going on maybe with your breathing, you can notice these things when we slow down and take the time to process. As you move down, you're going to trace your fingertips down all the way your arms, all the way down to the fingertips. Come back up right to the chest. Do the same thing on your back, all the way down the side body. You're just paying attention to see if there's any stresses or any tension points, or maybe you're feeling really, really good. Are there any blockages? Go down into the hips, down to the backside of the legs, all the way down across the knees. Wrap around behind the calves, see what's going on there, and then make your way slowly down to the heels as you get all the way down to the toes and come back up the front of the foot. Okay. Take a moment, take 3 good breaths. What I'm looking for on these breaths is a big volume inhale. Get a lot of air in there. We're breathing it right to the abdomen though. Okay, right to the belly. Long exhale. Do that 2 more times. With me? Realize after I said the 3 things I'm looking for, I included 2 of them. The third is to make it audible. We want to make that, and just to really signify, okay, I'm doing something. Being intentional with our breath is something that I believe we can all do a lot better with, okay? Once you've done that, feel. What do you feel after you've done the mind-body scan, after you've done your breathing? What are the feels? Where are they, first of all? What are they? And then how intense? And you'll see the reason why we've got beeps up here, okay? And then that's our way of assessing, okay? We can assess where we are in this current state. Now we've got the tools to be, okay, cool, I'm feeling my right shoulder here. It's very intense. It's like a 7 out of 10 sharp pain up here. I didn't notice that until I slowed down. Interesting. Very interesting. Very cool. Then we can go through our process here and we can reassess and progress, which is what we're going to do right now. Let's see if the Beebs wants to play. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that wink. Look at that cutie. Hey, man. This is how we supercharge. All right. Now, here we go. With my words, I create magic. Now, for those of you playing the home game, I ask for you to grab a magic wand. Now, where is my magic wand? I just had my magic wand. Oh no, where did I put it? Classic uno momento. I'm going to find my magic wand. Here we go. I just had it on my other book, not on my book in front of me. This, my friends, is a magic wand. A pen. Okay? So, please grab your magic wand. We're going to play a little game. I'll give you 15 seconds to find that. As we pull this up. This is fun. This is fun stuff because we're going to supercharge. We're going to show how the power of our words can affect. This is the first step. Okay? So with this magic wand and your spell book, piece of paper, you're going to write down, how can I ever get over this? I'm going to give you 15 seconds or so to write that down. It's very important you get into the writing habit. We often skip that part. We think it, which is good. It's a good start. Part of me wants to say, I remember my first beer. Writing it down makes a very, very big difference. So, trust that you have all written that down. Okay? Read that statement aloud on your own. Okay? Next up, breathe. Just like we did. All right? Now, for the sake of this not being necessarily an interactive workshop, more of a lecture piece, I would then call people on and say, okay, tell me how you feel. For the sake of argument here, we're going to assume that you've already done that. How do you feel? You've already kind of assessed that. We're going to scratch out the word ever. Okay? In how can I ever get over this? Okay? Now I want you to rinse and repeat. I want you to read that back with it scratched out of ever. Read that back. Then breathe. Notice anything change about that one word. How can I get over this? Oftentimes in my coaching with this, the responses I get is when we cross out ever, it takes the pressure off. It doesn't feel like so permanent and so forced and urgent and chaotic. We take that pressure off of ourselves with one word, right? So if we're going through life thinking about how we can ever do something, imagine that compounding down to the things we were talking about as emotional pain. How can I ever get my relationship back together? Or how can I get my relationship back together? It's a very, very different statement. It's more of a question. You're stating this. How can I ever get over this? Doesn't sound like a question at all. It sounds like a bloody statement. When you get rid of that ever, we get rid of that permanence, get rid of that pressure language, it makes it much, much less dramatic, which is great because when we talk about rock versus roll, stress doesn't care what kind of stress. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be emotional. Stress goes into that pile. So when we're talking rock, if you're ever getting over this, it's on the rock side. So, and then you add in your workouts and your lack of sleep and poor nutrition, you're compounding all of that rock. Not enough roll. Okay. When you breathe, you process, and you get yourself out of that angsty, weird punk rock, how can I ever get over this blame thing, that puts us away and gets it back into the parasympathetic system, which is really helpful for down regulating and getting more roll in our lives. Okay. Now, here's another little game we're going to play. Okay. I want you to think about something, pick something, write it down. You still got your magic wand. Pick something that you deeply love. Okay. Now say that aloud. Follow it like, I love blah. Okay. Write it down. Breathe. Awesome. Simple, right? You'll see where we're going with this. Power of words. Say aloud, I create, I sing my song, or I have a voice. Something along the lines here. Okay. Read that aloud. Once you write it down, whatever one resonates with you. All right. We got to think. What I'm doing right now is we're looking at those areas that are common symptoms of pain and blockages. We're looking with the first one, I love. It's all about the heart chakra right here. I feel like Matthew McConaughey. Right? If you guys know Wolf of Wall Street, it's such a great movie. Gotta watch that again. Okay. This one, however, I create, I sing my song, I have a voice, all to do with our communication and our value of creating. Okay. So very, very common. This is the most common area I'm usually working with people. Cramped up necks, hunkered over, they've got kinks in the neck, shoulders are gone, that type of thing. So I wanted to be really intentional with going to the hard stuff here. Get the we say the white elephant. Well, no, this is the monkey on the table here. Okay, we're gonna read that one aloud. Again, same process. We're gonna breathe. Okay, and this is just supercharging, because what we're doing is we're bringing attention to those areas. Good attention though, right? That's the interesting thing here. Is the brain has a really cool system called the reticular activating system. And what that does is it places focus on the things that you're actually focusing on, so that you can, if you were to be able to take in all of the sensory of your environment at any given time, your brain would explode. So what the RAS, reticular activating system, does is it narrows your focus on the things that you want. And the things that you want are dictated by you. So that's why I say I am. That is exactly what you're going to focus on. I am injured. You are going to believe that. You're actually going to develop neurons in your brain that will cause more drama to that position. Like if you injure your hip and you say, I'm injured, I've got an injured hip, your brain goes, okay, cool, boss, gotcha. We're going to draw more attention to that. So you'll compound the symptoms. What we're looking to do is I create is a very empowering statement. I sing my song, very empowering. We're trying to give you agency right back to that. And that's the first step of that supercharge. Key is writing it down and breathing it. Okay. Now, how do we, I forgot I put in Einstein here. That's funny. Bulletproof. Let's see if Einstein plays along. Come on, Einstein. There we go. Yeah, there we are. I think he's pretty bulletproof. Okay. How do we bulletproof the body? Okay. Because as I'm hoping you're seeing the relationship between now the mind and the body here. How do we make this thing bulletproof? Well, I'll tell you. We're going to go back to the power of words. We're going to go back to those same drills. Okay. Pick something you deeply love. Look at the sheet you just drew, right? Say that thing aloud. Okay. We're going to breathe it. That allows our body to process what we just said. And then we're going to do a little exercise. I call it the love wave exercise. Okay. And then we're going to breathe with that. So we're affirming what we are bringing intention to the heart chakra. And then we are going to move that energy to stimulate that chakra. Okay. So if we've got a blockage in there, it's great because it'll help move things out. If we don't have a blockage in there, you're going to create and pull in really good energy here. So for those of you looking at me like, what's the love wave exercise? Well, I'll show you. You can do this right seated. You're going to throw your arms out in front of you. And then all you're going to do is bring your chest into your arms, breathing in. And then you're going to push back out and curl those shoulders over. Then you breathe in. Breathe out. I call it the love wave because a really good friend and coach of mine, Jeffrey Oakes, in the steel mace community. I say really good friend. As virtual friends go, he's a really, really great dude, part of the collective. And in his warm-ups, he does this with our mace. And what he says is he brings the heart into the mace and then he pushes the heart back. And the reason I say it's a love wave, he's like, it's like you're getting hit by a wave of love and your back goes way back. And then you bring yourself forward again, bring that love to the bar and that push back. You get hit by that wave. So I just, simplified. We call it the love wave exercise. Do that 3 or 4 times. Feel it. Okay. And then add that breath. So what we're doing there is when we breathe in and then exhale, that's known as anatomical breathing. This is what puts the Music Fit method in a totally different league of its own. Most coaching systems, especially in the training sense, actually do the opposite breath, what's known as biomechanical breathing, where they would go and then they would breathe in here, which makes more sense for holding pressure in the body if you're lifting heavy weights. However, it's not nearly as efficient and it causes more stress than removes it. What this does is it helps to remove, gets us down regulated, like we say, get back into the parasympathetic, more roll, not as much rock. Really, really cool. And you may feel after doing a few of those, you may feel some tingles and jingles in the fingers, and that's totally normal. That's, if we want to go woo-woo, that's the energy getting out of you, okay? The second one is the shoulder slide and breath, okay? So the same idea. We're just going to keep ourselves rooted down in the chair. If you can stand, this one's great to stand as well. I'm going to stay seated because I'm in presentation mode here. We're going to bring those shoulders up, or arms up, shoulder height. And then we're just going to slide side to side from our hips. So we're just taking the shoulders back and forth, side to side. Unwind that spine. Match it with the breath. And if you want to take it to like level 2, supercharge this bad boy, we can then turn that shoulder over. Right? So when we're coming through, even if you want to come back this way, breath in, and then you're up. You're turning that hand right upside down. I know you guys can't see too far. I'll back up just a bit so you can see standing. So if we're here, and you guys can see me, we're going to turn all the way around and then all the way around. So we're now sliding and rotating our shoulders. Match it with the breath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We're moving that energy out of that heart chakra. Super cool. Okay. Let your body relax into it and just keep your breath. Okay. So that's the heart chakra. Now, keep on repeating. You can do 10 reps. You can do 12 reps. You can do 100 reps. Your call. You'll know. Your body will feel good. Okay. And we're trying to create this auto-generated system of coaching that you have all of the answers. Okay. So if you want to do 10, that's great. If you want to do 3 and you feel good there, that's good. Cool. Do a few reps, get a few reps under your belt and understand. It's ridiculous to think that I know your body more than you, right? When you think about it. So you've got the answers. Do as many reps as you feel. Okay. Next up, it's like exactly what you want to hear from a coach, right? I don't know. You do it, right? All right. Say aloud, I create. I sing my song. I have a voice. Whatever you wrote down, whatever has to do with that communication. And if you want to go back to the slides, you guys all get these slides anyways. If you want to go back to the slides and pick a different chakra, you got a blockage in the low back, cool. We can go to that. And then you can do something that relates to that chakra and those emotions. Maybe there is a relationship between that back pain and something that's going on in your world. Got to think about it though. We got to slow things down, breathe, and think about the actual, oh yeah, I guess, right? Get down memory lane. For the sake of the presentation though, we're going to go with the throat chakra, okay? Read that aloud, of course, and then breathe, just like before. And now to bulletproof it, we're going to incorporate our movement, okay? So a neck roll exercise. So the neck roll looks just like this. We're going to use our head as a clock. We're going to look up to 12 o'clock. And then we're going to roll our head down, depending on what way you're looking. This is to 3 o'clock, down to 6. Breathe in from 6 o'clock, back up to 12. Exhale from 12, down to 6. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. There we go. Okay. You can go both ways. You can go one way. Sometimes it feels really, really weird. Congratulations. You're human. If it feels weird going one way and not the other, that's the way it is. We're not symmetrical. So the neck rolling exercise matched with the breath, really nice to loosen up the kinks and the knots in the neck. I love this one. This is one that's I believe I do this without even thinking now when I'm making like breakfast or a coffee or something. So super, super good. Easy to use too, because you just seat it. So if you're sitting 9 to 5, you can do this at the desk. It's a really nice way to kind of get some more juice flowing into the throat chakra. Before too long, you're going to be able to present a bomb presentation like this. It's all over the place, right? Repeat, read, and breathe. Read it and breathe. All right? Cool. Now what we're going to talk about is one of my favorite humans in the whole world, Lisa Anderson. Way back, we're talking circa 2000, must have been 2016 or so. That's when her and I got together and we started working. And just to read her quote, as a performer and a teacher, I felt it was impeding me from doing her job properly. So when the chance to train with myself came up, she was going to take it, right? And you guys can read the rest of this. We had such a great time really solving, and the reason I bring her into the equation here is because I remember distinctly, like, she had a lot of performer shoulder issues that were really, really impeding her productivity as a teacher as well. And now she's teaching full time, playing music still, and she's still doing the wall angels, right? And that's one of the best exercises and an absolute staple in the Music Fit method. To bring back the recovery. But a lot of it came back to getting inside, right? Working through and working in rather than working out. And that's a topic for another presentation, I think. So that's Lisa. She's doing really great things. And then we can talk about the Music Fit method. Like I was saying, it's official optimization certification here of the music industry, where you will learn how to be not only a badass and a unicorn, but learn how to balance that rock and that roll. A lot of the coaching strategies out there, and for those of you who have worked with trainers, they're one way, and it's always working out and getting that strength gains, and less important about your down regulatory stuff and your yoga and your mindfulness. And then you've got, on the other hand, you've got everybody over here. What we look to do is balance those two. We have our strength and conditioning, our rock, and then we have our down regulatory roll. And you'll learn how to balance that. My goal with everybody coming through the certification is to make sure that you've got a piece of a tool that you can put back in here to the tool belt, and you can revisit this so that you can take care of yourself. That's why I'm the guy that helps musicians solve their problems. I don't solve their problems. They solve their problems. I'm the guy that guides it. Okay. And the certification is the signature series of that. Okay. We teach you how to prepare for, recover from, and optimize your performance both on and off the stage. It's like sometimes I talk to people and they think they're a different person when they're on stage from the person that they are as a dad or a brother or the coworker or so on and so forth. I used all dudes examples there. I'm not sure why, but they could be the mom, they could be the sister, they could be whatever, right? It's the same when you get up on stage if you're a musician. It's the same when you go to work. It's the same when you're there to perform. Every day we've got to know how to prepare for, if we can optimize our lifestyle from inside out. That's my end goal with the certification program. Then the best part about it all is that we don't stop right with you. We want to make sure that you have the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to help guide other musicians or other family members. Like, you'll have the actual ability to be able to help them solve their problems. You're not solving their problems. That's not what we're all about. If you're interested in that, this is not the right certification. I want to make sure it's very clear that you are helping to solve not their problem. You are helping them to solve their problem. Okay, you're paving the course, so to speak. Okay. And what you can expect from that, of course, getting into the nuts and bolts, fundamental knowledge of the primal movements. So things like squats, lunges, pushes, pulls, twists, and then, of course, everybody's favorite, the bend, right? And if you want to talk about the gait, of course, the seventh, walking, making sure you know how to do all those basic primary functions, okay? Then a foundational knowledge of breath and how the movement mechanics work and how they work together. So much more in depth than what we did here today, but we gave it a little glazing, little icing on the cake there. An empowering experience with other like-minded humans that'll level you up both personally and professionally and raise the vibe of the people around you. You ever notice when you're walking around and somebody's just on, and then you ask them what they're doing? Oh, got up great, got up early, been eating real well, and things just keep on lining up. That's the kind of people that we have in these certifications. Those are the kind of people that they just bring everybody else up around them. If you guys watch any videos with me, I'm feeling great, and I'm proud to say that I feel awesome. I know I'm looking great. I feel great. I feel, because I've worked on the story. I've worked on what's inside, and a large part of it is connecting that breath, slowing things down, and taking time for myself, and understanding when something triggers to step back and be able to breathe. And that's all this training that we've wrapped up into an actual certification. So my goal is to help everybody else on this call get to that level and help inspiring, because with a bunch of really healthy, happy musicians, that's going to transpire. It's not just our ecosystem, it's the rest of the world. Name one spot that you don't have music, right? Imagine if that music, if we had like 10 more Bob Marleys in this world, we'd have a hell of a lot better place. All right. So some kind things from some level 1 movement coaches. This is Sarah Scott. She had this to say: oh man, I love the fact we are allowing artists the opportunity to give themselves a try. That's pretty foundational right there. That's what this is all about. Give yourself a try. Bet on yourself, right? Being able to share tools to have them be amazing on and off stage. And the biggest takeaway for her was being able to share the benefits of this course, to share with artists that they have it in themselves, and to move past what they thought or they think they couldn't or can do. So just helping to inspire. That's pretty powerful right there. She also was, I was interviewing her. She's such a sweetheart. And she had this to say, about big takeaways, and just going on to more of that, is that getting to share with them, being the artists, there's more than the one-size-fits-all approach to physical and mental wellness. All right. And we're giving them the agency and confidence to build their own programs, make their own warm-up sessions, and have better self-talk. So imagine if you were able to know you the best, and then you get to build that program for you. See the self-agency. It's all there. She really, really did enjoy the language and story work, and the recovery and energizers, because she used them herself. And even during it was really, really magical experience, because as the course went on, you saw the level of these people go from week to week. They just leveled up. They were happier, they were healthier, they were having wins every day. It was awesome. It was a really, really cool experience to be a part of, as a coach myself, to see the people that you're teaching these things own it, which is great, I think. All right, let's see what we got here. See if the slides want to work. Let's go. Coming up to the end here, guys. Again, a little more of what you can expect. Learn to identify opportunities to help others with the signature series. Now, I've got the 5-minute fix, the 5-minute flow, and the 5-minute fit in level 1. And then you can join up with an incredible, I like to call it the super league of rockstar musician athletes in the whole collective. So if you're not yet a part of, or have yet to get your membership, please feel free. Hit up musicfitcollective.com. You get a free month with just to try it out, and you're going to see a ton of value in there. You've got a bunch of super coaches. You got a bunch of really, really cool, I put that word in there, network. You've got a whole network of different people, everything from artists, managers, all the way. That's what Sarah is. She's a radio broadcast and artist manager, and a great distance runner. So you've got lots of super, super awesome human beings. You get the resume boost as well. Nobody else in the industry. We are the only registering body of the music industry. So when you go to the fitness, you have to get a registration here and there, and then you have to get it in Australia. I did it. I hated it. It was the worst process of my life. It made no sense. And then I realized, it's a cash grab. We've got a musician specific registration body. So you don't have to go through all of these other things that make you buy their courses to get their stuff, because it's all just self-feeding. We want to make sure it's a collective, that you get the best of the best in here, and then you're given the agency to go and use it, right? With the people you want to spread more health and wellness around, right? Together, this is a movement, and it's going to take a lot more than the rock doctor himself. Okay. I'm just captain the ship when we hit stormy seas. Never mind stormy seas. That's the ocean. That's small potatoes now. We're going to a different galaxy, folks. All right. That's what this hat's all about. You get that resume boost. You set yourself apart as a leader and a music fit advocate. Now, imagine when things open up for those of us that are still in lockdown. It's going to be a wild, wild time. Wild West, really. People are going to be fighting for those jobs. People are going to be like, I want that tour. I want that tour. If you're a great musician, that won't matter anymore. There's going to be a lot of great musicians. We've all had almost 2 years now of practicing, some of us more than others. So you got to have something else. You got to bring something else to the table. This is it. Rather than creating a whole different industry specialist, we're just tacking it on to the drummers in the band, to the artist managers, to the tour managers, to the producers, to the DJs. So you can go on a tour and you can actually help the whole festival, right? That's what we're all about in here. Okay. So you can expect that. That's our goal. That's our mission. We've got unbelievable support on it too. Here's what Kevin Johnson said. He just recently graduated as well. His big thing was taking a set method for resolving tension. He's had chronic back pain for a long time, and stress, and more importantly, a proactive approach to prevention. So he's no longer experiencing those weird back pains that he used to get a year ago. He's been working with me. He's got a certification now, and now he's super pumped about sharing that with his band or bands. The guy's a killer bassist. He also writes he's a big time writer. So you can imagine what his lifestyle is like. We're a lot of seated. We're behind a screen. Getting the wherewithal of how to correct your posture is going to be key for a fellow like him. And he's done it, and now he's sharing it. That's paying it forward. That makes me talk about singing a song. That's my song right there. Love that. When people pay it forward and they get to help other people, magical. Love it. Okay. And then we got Anna. Anna here, also graduate from the Level 1 Movement Coach course. She is a Stop Pilates pro freaking trainer. Like, she's golden already. And she came and she wanted to learn new modalities to incorporate into her practice. She gained broader knowledge and new perspectives. This is from somebody already in the industry at a high level. They've also been able to. So if you're sitting there going like, oh, I've got it, I'm good. We can all learn. All the greatest coaches take coaching. I've got like 5 of them. Take out the I've got 5 of them. All right. If you want to get to that next level, it's great to have that mentorship. It's great to have more tools in the toolkit, because not everybody's going to fit into that same thing. So if you can affect somebody with this or this, and you've got more in the arsenal, that's great. She's excited to be involving PMR, which is a method, progressive muscle relaxation, that we talk about in week 3 and 4 of our Level 1 course. So that's a really exciting time, and she got a great kick out of that, and she incorporates it into her own practice and into that of her clientele as well, which is great. That's awesome to hear, that we could add something to her practice that was already flourishing, right? Next up, I wanted to talk to you about the actual journey of the coaches. Level 1, we call it the foundations. You learn all the basics. Level 2, the creations. Now we learned the basics. What can we create? What can we do with strength and conditioning? We've got 4 disciplines. We've got body weight or animal flow, calisthenics. We've got kettlebell. We've also got our mace training, and we're soon to introduce our 4th here as ropes training, right? So it's all unconventional exercise. How can we get creative? So we do lots of workshops on this, and we start to help you get the proper guidance on how to build coaching programs that are going to work for you on the road, work for you as a person, but you can do at home, any setting. How do we create? How do we get better at just getting the thinking cap on? The 3rd phase here is now personalizing that to an optimization that you can put yourself way ahead of the game for anybody else that doesn't have this kind of certification. So it's specifically geared towards musicians so that you can take all of these skills and now use it as a career asset. You're now not just a fantastic drummer, but you're the fantastic drummer that can also be the tour exercise dude, or you can be the tour cleanup crew for, you know, the recovery nights. You're going to have a better understanding of the health and wellness aspect, which has been for a long time totally put off into the corner. Right. And it's our goal here as a movement to get that to be the forefront of the industry. Okay. Now, what that really means is we're looking at licensing deals for as early as 2022. So any of our coaches are going to be eligible to pick up what we will term as a venue. We have a script. We're working with our legal team. We're working with our marketing team right now to run your own venue, right? To have a common brand, because we're already growing, I guess. Globally here, we've got a really good foothold in, of course, North American market right now, but we're also growing with Anna's help and with a few other members that are in Europe as part of our collective. We're growing in that market as well. So we're growing. This is a really, really cool opportunity to have a common brand and be able to help such a super spreader. If we've got healthy musicians, imagine the effect that their positive songs are going to have on the rest of the world. Like, you're a much bigger part of a much bigger equation here, right? Not just the assistance and guidance and support of myself and the leadership team. You're going to be part of that leadership team in the early stages. That's how you grow, right? The Music Fit Games, we've already got it pinned here from my hometown in High River, Alberta. Hell or High Water Tour. It's going to kick off May 9th to 16th. Think of it as a retreat with 2 stages, competition of sport in those more modalities we talked about, and then it's a festival tour. So we're bringing the I don't even know what to call it. We're bringing the show, we're bringing the fun, we're bringing the party all across. We're starting in Canada for next summer. If other opportunities come up before then, that's great. But as it is right now, we're scheduled to be little under a year back here right in hometown and have a big campground, have a big retreat to really emphasize the role and relaxation. It's a super, super cool. And this is a dream come true, right? And I want as many cool people to be a part of it as possible, right? So that's what we get to look forward to in 1 year's time. So I'm very excited about this year. If you can't tell, I can't wipe this silly grin off my face. And I'm just very excited to see how big this thing can go, and not even how big, but how deep it can go, how much we can affect every single person. The Taylor Swift approach, one fan at a time. If we can make a huge impact on one musician and they can make a huge impact on the next, it's going to scale like that. Okay. My question for you guys out there, you want to join the party? Here's how. We got next steps. Okay. So obvious one, just take the training offer, get certified, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your dog, take care of your band. Well, maybe not the bassist, but take care of the band. Okay. And the next cert starts up Monday, May 31st. We've pushed it back just to open up more opportunity for more people in here. We had a couple more seats come up. So I was happy to push that back another 2 weeks. Same time as we started here today, 5:33 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be running one session on the Monday and then one session on the Wednesday. Regular cost is $8.99 plus $2.99 for the honors program. So level 1 and then honors. So that's where we get real dived in and dialed into a bit more of an intensive program specific to that person's role in the industry. Okay. Not mandatory for anybody to take the honors, but it definitely gives you a level up in your specific. So this is more for the professional development, for the people that really want to use this as a tool to make more money. Now, 6 weeks, 87 minutes, because I love weird numbers. So it's not a 90-minute class. It's an 87-minute live group call on the Monday. And then we have a 53-minute, again, weird numbers, and you'll get used to that, 53-minute live Q&A per week, and that's on the Wednesday. Those are Mountain Standard. So if you're in the other part of the world, do the time zone math. If you're in Europe, that's typically 7 to 8 hours behind these. And then if you're in Australia, it's up to like 16 hours as far as I can recall right now. So it's on the next day, which is a very interesting time zone math, man. Whew. Okay. Now, for those of you who want to join today, you'll get lifetime access to the course and the community. You got the Music Fit method workouts and mentoring each month in various areas of personal and professional growth. We host jams. That's what we call it. We call this a jam. This is a public jam. We've got inside the actual community, we have business coaches that'll help you set up a structure and a framework. So if you're looking to take one of these disciplines that you really, really want to get into, and you want to get in and you want to start working with a business coach to build this out as maybe a side hustle and start up your own thing with the opportunity to go into one of our licensings, that's super cool. That's what we're offering, right? That's what we've got here. It's all about that personal and professional growth. We've got everything from branding to, we've got a licensed psychologist coming on board. I just spoke with a biomechanic. So a biomechanic would be the person that works with the musculature, even better than a physiotherapist. It's a definite new wave kind of thing. We've got the spiritual DJ on board. We've got myself. It's a growing community of really elite superstars that are geared towards helping people. And that's the best part about it. Okay, we've got, of course, the Fambassador, because I love making words too. Fambassador discounts on all of the services. So once you're in, it's kind of like Fight Club. You don't talk about it, you're in, all right? Except unlike Fight Club, we can talk about it. And we encourage you to talk about it. We want you to work, even when you're working through this course, I want you to be working with somebody. Even when you're not certified, I want you to get out there and start hammering this stuff down. Practice, reps. I want you to fail quick, because the faster you fail, the faster you're going to succeed, right? It's an awesome certificate. Of course, that's the best part. Our unicorn certificates. You guys can search the web for our awesome certificates. We've also got the manifesto and, of course, the Music Fit Method playbook, which is soon to come here over the summertime up in North America. Very excited about all that. Okay. Again, the bottom line is you become part of a big ass movement to really, really redefine what it means to be rock and roll. We're talking yin yang, not more rock and roll, booze and party. No. That's old school math. We don't like that. We got the new math right here. Okay, this is the stuff that works. This is the stuff that's sustainable, so we can have more great music for much longer. All right, sound good? I think it sounds good. Okay, so what we're offering here today, you can join. Like I said, regular price is $8.99 plus $2.99. And what I've done is I've said, scrap that all. If people want to get going on this, I'm going to give you a 24-hour window. Okay. You can join today for $777, because I love numbers. Right? I told you, weird. $777 all in. You get your honors and you get your level 1. Okay. And that starts the journey. You're in, you get everything else. On top of that, I'm going to give you one coaching call personally with myself as well on top of that. Just sweeten the pot if you want to do that here today when you're watching this. So from the time I said 24 hours, so we've got until 6:30 in Mountain Standard Time tomorrow night. So whatever that is in the part of the world that you're looking at, I'm going to honor that. Okay? Got to get on that. Prices go back up because starving artist. No, I'm not. At the same time, there's got to be some sort of incentive. I want to make sure that people can take this in. It's also putting skin in the game, right? That's a very important piece to me. This isn't free. Absolutely not, because this will change your life. Absolutely not as free. I wish it could be free, but this is the kind of stuff that will change your life. If you're concerned with cost on this, think of it as an investment to yourself. How fast can you make that 7-7 back, right? That's the real challenge I put out there for my coaches. All right. And that's what we've got the support system for. So that is our offer in here, guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to wrap it down because we are bang on 60 minutes. It's like I planned it. Boom. Like that. You guys know where to find me. And you can DM We Are Music Fit on Instagram if you're watching there. You can shoot me an email at wearemusicfit@gmail.com. You can also just go right to the website. I'm going to have that up in a few minutes, and you can just click and purchase, and you're going to be automatically added into the tribe. And the program's all ready to rock. You get some play-by-play. You get all the slides. You get some homework. It's a fun time. It's a learning experience, though, and it does require some attention. So that's why I say it's not just, walk in the park. I'm pretty selective on who I want to work with. And we want to have the best of the best team here. All right. So if you guys are interested, I encourage and invite you to shoot me a DM if that's easiest, and we can get you all set up here. Or you can just head to Music Fit Collective here later tonight and pick up your package and get things going. And we're really looking forward to getting this thing off. Again, May 31st, that is Monday. Class starts 5:33 Mountain Standard. Okay. 90 minutes basically. Okay. Remember that. Block off an hour and a half. You'll be out before then. But block off an hour and a half on the Mondays and block off an hour on the Wednesdays for Q&A. You can bring to the table whatever you want. Plus, anybody that gets us in the 24 hours, you get one coaching call. That's worth $100 US right there. One coaching call with me as well, and we'll set you up on the right way so that you get this going. If you want to make this a profession, you want to make this part of your jam, I would love to have you on the team. All right, my ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And until next time, stay sweet. Peace.